Welcome to Visit Extended's channel. Today I would like to introduce a new topic, how to write master and doctor thesis. I would like to tell you that what is my motivation, because recently I'm the master degree supervisor in Guangdong University of Technology and in the field of industrial engineering and management. That is why I would like to share my experience to the student how to write master and doctorate thesis. I've used Professor Zhu's book. It's a practical handbook to tell you how to write a thesis. I think this book structure is very good, so that is why I would like to follow the structure and introduce and full my own experience. In this book, I will separate that into 8 parts. First, introduction. Second, problem identification. Third, literature review. Fourth, innovative idea generation. And then is a research methodology. It's separated in the fundamental and scientific field and social science. And then how to write the research result, conclusion and references together at the end. So today the first class is for introduction. When you're writing a thesis, you need to have the thesis plan. What is your purpose? What is the target? Which strategy you employ? And what methodology you use? And you need to plan your procedure. In the research topic, how it formation. In the beginning, you have the real world and phenomena, and then you need to conceptualize it, become a conceptualization model. And after that, you need to explain this conceptualization model, become a symbolic model. That is the concept of the research topic formation. Now, in introduction, procedure and method, they are separated into 4 sessions. First is how to seek problem. Second, research methodology. Third, research result realization. And others is mean the conclusion at the end. Now, I will explain one by one briefly. How to seek the problem. First, important is a selection of the topic. You need to point out the problem and direction that you are not solved. Start from your interested area, is very common, or seek through the research paper and report, or from different sources, such as your job, your company, life, and organization. Because some master or engineer doctorate, it is you have to solve your career problem or industrial problem. That is why different sources have affected your selection of topic. Some basic principle is the topic you are interested in and fit your purpose. Review your self-capability. And do you have sufficient information? And focus on specific point and study how depth you expect. And then you need to define your topic and problem. You need to define your scope and boundary, because as my experience, many people or students starting their research, they would like to do everything, but however, when you consider your time, your location, your special angle or limitation, you need to have the boundary. And then is the information connection. Usually we will use the literature review, and during the literature review you need to consider it to your information sufficient or holistic information collection in your field. Sometimes the first review the paper and information should be correct and fit the research topic. So that is why you need to consider 2 things. First thing, external condition, is the author is a professional in such a field. Is it your review, the journal is top journal, the publication date is a course, etc. Information evaluation is the information is related to your research topic, do they are evidence-based and perceivless, etc. After that, you need to make the assumption or hypothesis. So during the build-up hypothesis, you think is rational, suitable scope, and evidence-based. And then you need to write down your research purpose. Research purpose is not to solve the problem, but to verify the hypothesis sometimes. Usually research is based on a previous study by other scholars. Sometimes you could create a new field or better theory to achieve innovation. Second part is about the research methodology. So what research approach you will use? It means that research approach means what direction and standard you employed in your research. Later we'll study more in detail in other class. And then it depends on what field you are research for. Fundamentally, you can separate as a four research approach: literature review research, historical review research, theoretical research, survey and testing, experimental research. Research method, there are many different methods. The most common three methods Professor Ch1 stated in his handbook is an analytical empirical method, hypothesis proof model, and problem empirical model. It's a three things we have a diagram to explain. However, they involve different small methods inside to explain this model. For example, problem method, critical method, analytical method, comparative method, induction and deduction method, integrated and evaluation method, etc. And then after you have the research approach, research method, you need to form your research framework and structure. Design the whole research plan logically and process approach. Analytical empirical model. How this model design? First, you are aware a problem, and then you observe the phenomena. During your aware problem, you need to design experiment device to collect information. What kind of information, what device you use, or we call it the instrument, for example, survey, etc. And then this phenomenon, you need to experiment, observation, and information, and collect the data and record, and then analyze them, organize the result, analyze result, observe other theory, and make it originality. And maybe you propose the new method. The new method will study the nature of the phenomena. And the new method have their value, accumulator of principle, and others. At the end, they will provide problem solving scheme or explanation. The second model is a hypothetic proof model. You have a phenomena. We study the nature between the phenomena, and we propose the hypothesis and validate, use the data validate, and problem solving. What is the difference between that? We observe and propose a hypothesis. It's a more common use. In this one, you observe and collect information first and analysis to build up the new method. It's a total different approach. It is a make the hypothesis and validate to collect information, validate your hypothesis. The last one model is a problem empirical model. Based on your interesting original point of view, criticize spirit and key observation to aware the problem, where the problem is, and verification of the new problem based on the literature review, and provide the problem solving scheme and conclusion. So after you have the different research methodology to do that, you need to visualize your research result. First common use is reasoning. Different research topic and later will have to employ different reasoning method. For example, more common investigation research, experimental research, and induction method and deduction method are fundamental. Description of research discovery. When you use the hypothesis and background and strictly research design and method, you will obtain some discovery. You need to describe how you connect it and what is the discovery you found. And then based on the evidence, explain it logically and relationship. Explain your discovery. And then evaluate the impact of your research discovery. You need to have a statement of impact and any limitation during find this discovery. At the end, last is a conclusion. You need to separate into 3 parts. First part is your key innovation or original idea and summary. Second part is your perspective. What is the next mean? Third part may be your practical suggestion to solution to the problem. And then you need to acknowledgement. Usually we'll acknowledge our supervisor and also our supporter, family member, etc. At the end, you need to have the comprehensive reference. I have the research paper in Journal of the Hong Kong Institute of Engineers last year, and it is an example for you to reference. Okay, I would like to share my thesis and dissertation. I have 2 master dissertation and thesis and 1 engineer doctorate thesis. In my master thesis, both are experimental method using. My first MPhil study is a detailed investigation on inorganic chemical constitution of atmospheric aerosol and various deposition in Hong Kong. Almost 2.5 years to do and whole year for experiment. And a second master degree is a study of characteristics of indoor air quality in multi-purpose premises. It is from part-time. I'm working in the laboratory and use some resource to do that. It's related only 1 year doing this thesis. And engineer doctorate thesis is a little bit different from experimental method. It is more in engineering management. The topic is the development of QMS-based information security management QISM implementation model. I will implement it in my company during this research period. So in the later class, I will explain how to write the thesis and use my own example to explain some ideas with you. Many people have confused thesis and dissertation. What is the meaning and what is difference? When I'm search some information, USA and European have a totally different explanation. In US, thesis is shorter than a dissertation and involved preliminary research to help them to earn a master degree. And dissertation is constitutes an original research project and how to obtain doctorate degree. However, in European or England, the original research working that helps PhD degree is a thesis. And part of master degree involved a broader research project is dissertation. And in Hong Kong, we will follow the European UK system. So that is why my thesis and dissertation in master level and engineer doctorate called thesis. Okay, before the end, I would like to propose Professor Ch1's theory, lamp extended. Let us together to promote this Chinese original discipline. Why I promote that? Because it can help you to solve the contradiction problem. During our research, our experiment work, many contradiction problems will happen. I recommend to use extended to solve it. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you in next class. Bye.